Adventure may hurt you, but monotony will kill you. These words have been running in my head since the first time I heard them. They become louder when my alarm goes off, when I sit through the same traffic I did the day prior, when I attend meetings in the same rooms with the same people. Even the things I love, the gym, my routine with my wife and son, my dogs. At a certain point, you switch to autopilot. You become complacent. You lose the spark in life that once drove you. For me, the reignition of that spark can only be accomplished through escaping the routine and embracing the spontaneity of overlanding. Which road to go down? Where am I going to camp? What weather and wildlife will I encounter? You can do research on all of this, but none of it is guaranteed. For this trip, I decided to push it further than I ever have before. I drove further from my comfort zone and camped longer. The location I chose absolutely blew my mind and left me wanting more, even after 4 days of no people, no service, and no pavement. Join me as I get off the grind in the Owyhee Canyonlands of Oregon.
Oh my God. How is this real? Today marks the longest journey I have ever been on. It's a rainy Sunday morning in Washington State, but we are going to be in Eastern Oregon by the end of today. Got a little bit over 500 miles to cover, so let's get on the road. So I am about halfway through my journey now. Just kind of let you guys know what the game plan for day one is. I'm gonna head to Succor Creek, and there's a campsite there that I want to check out. So back on the road, 250 miles to go, making good time. If I planned correctly, I just finished up my last fuel stop for the next couple days. I am close to my starting point, but for the next 4 days, I will be off-road only, which I'm super excited about. I might have to dip off-road at one point just to fuel up again. I don't know how much driving around I'll do on the back roads of the Owyhees. It's been about 10 hours so far of driving, just with all the stops and stuff that I've made along the way. So I'm ready to get to camp and get this adventure really started.
Driving into this area for the first time, I really didn't know what to expect. I certainly was not expecting to be greeted by free-range cattle and wild horses. I am not a horse guy, but this was truly an incredible thing to witness. Everything I had seen of the area prior has been dry and brown. As I drove through the rolling hills, I was shocked to see them so green. After miles of slowly climbing an elevation, I crested a hill and the terrain changed from green rolling hills to red rock and towering canyons that left me absolutely speechless. With day one coming to a close, I couldn't help but feel anxious for day two. I barely scratched the surface of this area, and it has already left an impact on me that will stay with me for the rest of my life. I thought to myself, this is only day one. What else does this place have in store for me? I would find out soon enough.
Good morning and welcome to day two. I did not sleep well last night at all. I was just so excited about exploring this area. Last night made quite an impression on me, honestly. This is just, it's one of the most incredible places, views I've seen. It's a little bit overwhelming. So I was very anxious to get up and start my second day of exploring, because this wasn't even the thing that drew me to this area. This is just some bonus area, and it's incredible. But let's pack up and get on the road, because despite having very long daylight, it's a vast area and we have lots to check out. So let's get going.
After an incredible first night, I was eager to really start exploring this area. With nearly 191,000 acres of BLM land to explore on the Oregon side alone, I had no time to waste. Today, I planned on staying off the maintained roads and stick to all back roads as I headed towards Three Fingers Rock and then ultimately to Leslie Gulch. I did not realize just how long the 16-mile journey was going to take me on these roads though. Large rocks, water runoff, as well as the stickiest mud I have ever witnessed means getting anywhere in a timely manner is out of the question.
I didn't air down last night because I wanted to get to camp, and then I forgot this morning because I was anxious to go explore, but my teeth were rattling out of my head, so airing down for comfort.
But the biggest holdup were the cows. Most just ran on the road until they finally figured out they could get off the road. But there were a few who decided to stand their ground. Three Fingers Rock stands 804 feet over the immediate terrain and 4,826 feet above sea level. You can hike the rock if you'd like, and I've heard of people even rock climbing it. I chose to observe from a distance, however, and just take in how large this formation is against its surroundings.
Got some cow friends over here. Look at this spot though. It is so cool. It's like this little, it's a little reservoir. I think it's for the cattle specifically. But the way it's just nestled back here with those cliffs right behind it, man, it's gorgeous. The Owyhees is insane. I am thoroughly enjoying myself. All right, I think the cows aren't super pumped that I'm here, so I'm gonna leave them be and get back on the road. But this is a cool little find.
After the reservoir and hanging out with the cows for a bit, hunger started to set in, so it was time for lunch. I wanted to find something that was away from the cows and ideally had a good view, which honestly isn't a tall order for this area. What I found was a small canyon where the birds loved listening to their own echo bounce between the cliff faces. It was so beautiful to just sit there and take all of it in.
Some weather is rolling in. Got some wind that's picking up. You can see off in the distance, those are some pretty ominous looking clouds. And I can see that it's raining off in the distance. I don't know if the camera picked that up or not, but I think it's gonna get interesting. It's 1 o'clock and I still haven't made it to Leslie Gulch, which from where I camped, I didn't think it was gonna take me this long. This place is massive, man. It's huge and it's kind of slow moving with the roads that I'm taking. I'm taking all kind of the back roads and stuff like that. So, moving slow, but oh my God, this place is stunning. It's so wild. I'm like actively trying not to film too much, just because there's so much to film, but I need to make up some ground. So, oh, I feel raindrops. Let's get going. All right, we got thunder and lightning in the area, so I'm gonna stay in the vehicle until this clears. So I apologize for any gap in footage. All right, so it is raining now. I've heard a lot of rumors about the Owyhee mud. There's a significant amount of clay in the area, so it gets really, really sketchy when it gets muddy. And I've experienced that a little bit. This is the first time it's rained, but some spots were wet as I was coming through it, and it cakes your tires immediately, and you can not maintain a line. You just kind of go wherever it wants to go. It's honestly, it's like driving in snow. It's a little wild. I've been on unmaintained roads this entire time, so what I'm trying to do is get to a maintained road, which I know the road to get to Leslie Gulch is going to be what I'm looking for. But with it raining now, I still have probably 8 miles, I think, of unmaintained road before I get to that. So I'm really trying to just make up some time and get off of this stuff before it gets really sketchy. At the end of the day, I'm out here solo, so I'm having a blast. I'm seeing some really cool things, but I need to be really,
As I approached the entrance to Leslie Gulch, the clouds began to clear. The sun started to stream down, causing the cliffs towering above me to cast shadows over my path, making me feel even more small than I already felt. Opposite those cliffs were vibrantly colored red and orange rocks which stood just as tall and in contrast to the green grass surrounding it. This is why I came to the Owyees. This is incredible. Leslie Gulch is what made me aware of the Owyees. And then I started delving into it more and realized there's a lot more than Leslie Gulch, but this was the thing that drew me to this area. This is so cool. I think it's human nature to want what we don't have, and this is not the typical scenery and environment that I am in. Maybe this is less impressive for someone who lives in the desert or in Utah or something like that, but for someone who is surrounded by trees constantly, this is such a departure from what I'm used to. It is blowing my mind. What? Oh my God. How is this real? What a beautiful area and a sick little hike. This was not on my list of things to do this trip, but last night someone recommended I do it, and then someone was at the trailhead and said, dude, you need to do this hike. And it was a lot of fun walking through the hills and all the honeycomb rocks, and it was just amazing. It was a super cool hike. Really short, so it was nice. Really made me decide to do it was where I'm supposed to camp tonight, or where I was planning on camping. It's pretty deep into some unmaintained road, and I checked on my Garmin. We're gonna have a storm coming through here in about half an hour, and it's supposed to bring heavy rain and thunder and lightning. So with that in mind, with the way the mud gets out here, I am going to search for another campsite for tonight. I don't want to be that far off the beaten path and be stuck out there for too long. So should just be a one-night thing, and I can get back to
the fun stuff tomorrow. But today's been a awesome day. It's been so much fun. And it's only 4:15, so I got some more daylight to explore the area. So yeah, let's get back to the truck and see what else this area has to offer. So I went down this road hoping to get next to this little pond reservoir thing, but there's no actual road to it, and definitely staying on designated paths, so I'm not going to try and make my own road to it. But I think, because it's getting a little bit later now, it's 5:30, I think what I'm going to end up doing is heading back to Succor Creek. With this storm that's rolling in, it's really windy, and Succor Creek is kind of tucked in to the canyon, so I'm hoping that I can get down in there and kind of escape some of that. I'm still gonna hit the rain, but if I can at least take one of the elements out and don't have to deal with the wind as well, that would be nice. So I think that's the game plan, and then we will figure out what we'll do tomorrow. So. That was a awesome but very long day of exploring, and I am starving. I got a pretty awesome riverside spot with amazing views. I think you will agree. I think I'm gonna do it easy tonight and do some brats, because I don't feel like cooking an actual meal and cutting things up. So let's go.
It's really upsetting to me when I come across stuff like this. It's too easy to throw this type of stuff away. There's no reason it should be left at a campsite. This stuff does not belong in nature, especially an area as beautiful and well kept as the Owyhees are. Well, this was not the spot that I had in mind for tonight, but as backup spots go, this is pretty solid. I am very, very happy with this spot. It's kind of funny, Leslie Gulch was why I came here. I really wanted to see that, and it did not disappoint. It was unbelievable. But Succor Creek, I think I like more. You can't camp in Leslie Gulch like this. So the fact that last night I was on top of a cliff looking over the creek, and tonight I'm right beside it, it's pretty incredible. Today was crazy though. A whole lot of exploring. Spent 12 hours just driving the dirt roads around here, doing a hike. In that time, I covered 60 miles. So it was slow going, and it was a blast. It was so much fun. So that's gonna wrap it up for day 2 of my Owyhee adventure. I hope you guys are liking the series. If you are new to the channel, definitely consider subscribing. I got 2 more in this series coming, so it'll be a good time. I'm going to enjoy this fire before I turn in for the night, but today was a good day. All right, I will see you tomorrow for day 3. This is the view I woke up to this morning. Last night was another kind of rough night. We had a storm blew through and it got really, really windy and brought some heavy rain. So I didn't sleep super well. The wind is still kicking this morning, so it's pretty cold. It was really nice to have the sound of the creek beside me the whole time. All right, so this morning I have to run into town real quick. I gotta get some gas, and while I'm out there, I'm gonna try and FaceTime my wife and son, and then we will come right back in to the Owyhees and continue our adventure.
What is that?
A lion. Oh.
Hey, Luca. Daddy's got to get on the road. Can I have a kiss? Can I have a kiss? Mwah. I love you. There, love you, buddy.
I wasn't at crazy elevations in this area, only about 4,000 feet. But even then, there was snow on the ground and the hillsides as I was making my way to my next point of interest. The snow-capped mountains gave me an incredible backdrop for the many miles I needed to put in this morning. But with only a few miles to go, I came across a sign that prompted a detour. I was not prepared for what I was about to see. Jordan Craters is a lava field covering 26 square miles and is the youngest lava flow in Oregon, cited as having occurred only 3,200 years ago. Coffee Pot Crater, which is the largest crater in the area, is where the bulk of the magma came from. It would fill up to the point where it would spill over the edges and flow southeast, creating the massive lava field we now see today. I spent a few hours just exploring this area in awe of all that was happening in this seemingly barren land. The different colors and textures of these rocks were not something I've ever seen before, and the way they formed and created tunnels and caved seemed just as foreign to me. As I was walking across this now solidified lava, the thing that really stood out to me was the plant life in this area. It's amazing to me what little a plant needs to survive. In this vast lava field with little nutrients to be found, these little plants found what they needed and are thriving in this environment. Also in this area were a few caves, one of which I decided I needed to explore.
Oh wow, it goes down deeper. I want to walk further, but that rock seems really, really thin. And I'm worried about that breaking through, but there's something around that corner. I just don't think, I want to be smart about this. There we go. Oh, it just keeps going. Oh my God, it goes deep. That's where I end, for sure. But look at this, it goes down there too. This whole area is wild to me. Man, this is so cool. What's wild too is as you're walking around, you can hear water moving underneath you. It's so cool.
Having thoroughly explored Jordan craters in this unexpected but welcome detour, it was time to get back on the road and head to Birch Creek Ranch. With rain the night before, the Owyhee mud that I had heard so much about was in full swing and coating the Bronco like never before. Established in the early 1900s by a sheep herder and a cattle rancher, the Birch Creek Ranch is now a historical site owned and maintained by the Bureau of Land Management. While there are lots of cool facts about this area to share, the only thing I can really think about right now is how incredible it must have been to live in this area with these surroundings. I feel very fortunate to have been able to visit this area, but I know there is still so much I missed by spending just a night there. These people lived and breathed this area, and while it must have been really hard work, it would make laying under the trees at the end of the day much more rewarding. Welcome to campsite number 3. I'm really excited about this spot, honestly. Right on the Owyhee River. I have a picnic table and a campfire ring already set up. I have an incredible backdrop with these cliffs. But anyways, I wanted to find camp early today because there's some stuff that I kind of need to do. I gotta get some batteries charging, and I have probably a few 100 pounds of mud on the Bronco right now. And like every time I get in and out of that thing, I'm just getting caked with mud. So I want to try and get some of that stuff off of it and overall just relax. I just realized this is a perfect spot to put up a hammock. So I think I'm gonna do that. Yeah, it'll be good. I can't even begin to tell you how much I hate snakes. Ooh, they freak me out. I was very close to him when I found out that it was there. Now I'm freaking out a little bit. All right, well, that's good to know. I spent the next few hours just taking in the sights and sounds of this area before getting dinner going. I'm gonna keep quiet so you can do the same.
Good morning and welcome to day 4 of overlanding the Owyees. Yesterday was much needed after 2 very long days on the road. It was nice to find camp early and kind of get some stuff cleaned up and reorganize the Bronco and get rest for myself as well, because I have not been sleeping well this trip so far. So yesterday was so nice to just kind of recuperate a little bit. Still saw and did a lot yesterday, so it was incredible. But on these longer trips, days like yesterday are necessary just as a reset to get things, like I said, cleaned up and reorganized and stuff like that. So it was good. But this morning I'm feeling refreshed and ready to go. So day 4, there is only one spot left on my things that I must check out before I leave this area, and I saved that for today. It is the southernmost point of interest for me, so I've kind of been working my way down the Owyees. So today we got to cover a lot of miles, all on dirt, because it's a ways away from where we are now. So I want to get on the road and get going. Mud here is so crazy. I genuinely thought if I stopped, I wasn't going to be able to get going again, and that came out of nowhere. And all the work that I did yesterday is undone. It's actually probably worse. I'm gonna try and get some speed up, get some of this stuff to eject out of the tires so I have traction again. But yeah, lots of miles to cover still. All this mud has left me with a squeaking back here. So I think I have a rock stuck somewhere, but I don't see it. Yeah, I can't see it. There's like a splash guard on the back side of the rotor. It looks like there's 3 10mm bolts holding it down, but I did not bring tools because I'm an idiot, and I packed semi quickly. So I'm hoping it'll work its way loose. If not, there's like no sticks around here, which is so different from what I'm used to. So I might try and find something to get up in there and get it unlodged. But anyways, that's that.
Between Birch Creek and my next point of interest were the Pillars of Rome. The town that these reside in was named after these pillars, as those who discovered the area immediately noticed the resemblance of these formations to the pillars found in Rome, Italy. These 100-foot tall clay formations used to serve as a landmark for those traversing the Oregon Trail. Today, travelers like me sit at the base of them looking on in wonder as we think about what form the different layers and the shape of these strange formations. After a quick lunch at the Pillars of Rome, it was time for a very brief 100 feet on the pavement so I could stop at Rome Station to fuel up for the remainder of my trip. Rome Station is the only gas station around for miles and happened to be right on my path to get to my final point of interest for this trip. It also gave me a chance to see just how dirty the Bronco was. Dirt and mud covered nearly every inch of the Bronco with very little left to cover. However, the Oyhees weren't quite done yet, and by the time I got to my next spot, it was absolutely covered. On a map and based on the road coming into the area, I thought this drive was going to be about an hour. However, the road quickly turned on me and became very muddy and rocky, turning what I thought was an hour drive into 3. All of it, though, would be worth it if I could just reach my final destination. I have never been to a hot spring. I've been curious about them, but have never sought them out. This one was different, however. I saw footage of this spring that created a natural infinity pool overlooking the river below it. I have never seen anything like this, and I knew I had to go. This was the perfect way to end my trip overlanding the Oregon Owyhees. I washed away the dirt that I had accumulated over the last 4 days, but the memories will be with me forever. I had seen so much in the last 4 days, from exploring Succor Creek to Leslie Gulch, lava fields at Jordan Craters to stunning cliffs at a riverside camp in Birch Creek Ranch. I had seen beautiful sunny days and thunder and lightning storms in my time here. I had seen free-range cattle and wild horses. I had seen nature in a way that feels more and more distant as hustle culture further tightens its grasp. This hot spring marked the end of my journey, but it will forever play in my head as the trip that changed the way I looked at overland travel and exploration. Until next time, I hope you're able to get off the grid and off the grind, and I will see you in the next one.